Call the meeting to order.
To the flag of the United States of America, which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. This is the regular scheduled Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Wednesday, December 17th. Can I get a roll call of members, please?
Mayor Land,
Here.
Betsy Barnes,
Here.
Bob Clemens,
Here.
Jim Crook, Billy Gomez.
Present on Zoom.
Got four present.
Okay, thank you, David. We do have a quorum this morning. First on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the prior meeting, which was held on Wednesday, December 3rd. So moved there. We have motion to approve. We have a second
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Addition of new items, we do have one. If the board could add this onto the agenda, it's number 8. This is for our police department. It's to an agreement to host a WGN weather camera on city property. If we could add that as number 8 on the agenda. So moved, Mayor.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the add-on. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, board. Up next is our special recognition. So we have our usual employee of the month. And then we also have something which I'll give it a little bit of context as it comes up, our employee of the year. So first up is our employee of the month. Officer James Brock, you want to come on up front and center? So James has been with us a year and a half, right? Give or take. Right. So James was actually nominated by a member of the community, actually one of the assistant principals here at Solon Robinson. And I mean, we all know that, especially the police department, you have your regular law enforcement actions and so forth. But sometimes it's the little special non-law enforcement actions that you do for the community that like makes you stand above. And our police department does a fantastic job with their community service and so forth. So if I can't top the verbiage that our assistant principal gave on her nomination. So Officer Brock reflects the kind of empathy and dedication that strengthens trust between officers and the community. Stories like this are exactly what people need to hear about law enforcement. Quiet, compassionate acts that can have an immeasurable impact on a child. So you were at Solon Robinson School, one of our elementary schools. They had college grad day where the kids, the second graders, dress up as a career professional. Little girl dressed up as a veterinarian. Forgot her prop, her stuffed animal on the bus. So she was very upset, well put. So James, becoming aware of her situation in the story, went to the bus garage, right? Correct. Tracked down the bus, searched the bus, found the stuffed animal, returned it. Correct. Made her day. So she nominated her for that. So great job. Great job. Share or add? Whoever's watching in the city.
No. Thank you. I appreciate this. It's necessary. It's helping her out.
Yeah, very, very well done. So you reflect the police department very well. Thanks, Jim. Brad? Employee of the year. I'm not sure if we've ever done an employee year at Board of Works meeting, but we all know, maybe the community doesn't know, so obviously every year or month we do employee month. And then we select of those recipients, the employee of the year. This is done by the city workforce, so we don't just randomly pick who we think. The city workforce votes, and then the votes are tabulated, and an employee of the year is chosen. So this year, employee of the year, so we usually do sit down dinner, employee appreciation party. The employees this year want to have something in the summertime out at Old Park, more of a family atmosphere, so we're gonna honor that. We'll have that event in the summertime. But we didn't want to delay in recognizing our employee of the year. So this year's recipient is our own Assistant Fire Chief Ryan Cusack, and of course, Jake. Jake, you want to come on up? So city. Employee of the year. So they were nominated, and as we well know, besides Ryan's been here over 20 years now. Our Assistant Fire Chief. But beyond that, for many, many years, he and Jake were partners on one of the response teams. And he got many, many deployments for hurricanes, natural disasters, North Carolina, Florida. And your longest deployment, which was your last deployment, was how long?
It was 21 days, something like that.
21 days.
Between North Carolina and Florida for hurricanes Helene and Milton.
Right. So obviously being away from the community, your family, puts a big strain on, but you're representing the city, of course, and helping those around the country that are in need. So I think it was very fitting. So like I said, this isn't something that just the mayor's office, the employees vote, and they recognize you and Jake as our employee here. So congratulations. I'm your desk. All right. Anything that you want to say?
I've been very, very fortunate from the very beginning. It was 13 years ago in December, this month, that I was in front of the Board of Works to pitch this program and pitch the idea of getting a dog for our technical rescue team. And it grew into a fantastic experience. I've been so lucky for everyone from the previous city administration to this one, our previous fire chief, current fire chief, everybody that supported it, my wife and my family. A lot of people that didn't say no when I had crazy ideas and I got to do this. I'm in a position now where I don't have to say no to the next generation of handlers and people that are interested in doing this. So I'm excited to see Jake's legacy continue with other handlers and the impact we can have on that. So somebody else can pick up the ball and run with it now.
Right. So Jake, great job. Jake's retired. I woke up early to come in today. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So Jake is a live fine dog, so he searches the debris and rubble in the disaster zones for survivors that are there. So
Almost 14 years old, and now he gets to enjoy that retired life.
very envious. Good job, Jake. All right. Great job, Ryan.
Thank you, appreciate it.
He's like, yeah, no. Oh,
Good
good
boy.
boy. Okay, you got it.
All right. Great job. Great job.
I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
Now Jake's retired now. Do we have another dog that's, did we get another one?
We do have a second dog.
Oh, do we?
It's an arson dog. So
Okay,
Todd's a tailor. We're looking at continuing the search and rescue
okay.
dog legacy with our technical rescue. So Ryan's working on that now.
So we're not without a dog. So we're
It's been a
good.
great success and it's a great PR tool. Everybody loves the dogs, so. True. It's a firehouse, you gotta have a dog.
Okay, nothing under presentation, under old and deferred business, our utility updates. Al, good morning.
Morning. Well, we're heading into 2026 on a smooth path. The water project phase 4 Use of remaining funds, we're about 75% complete with those change order work items. So we anticipate to wrap that up early in 2026. Your 24-inch water main to the new treatment plant is out to bid. We had the pre-bid meeting last week, and we anticipate bid openings, I believe it's January 14th, mid-January. Your lead service line replacement projects, we've added additional work based upon remaining funds from the grant. They've gotten through about half of that additional work, and looks like we could probably even do some more. So we're going to be adding some locate material classification work on city side lines to fully utilize those funds and make future projects a bit more affordable. Our 2026 lead service line project, we're assembling the fieldwork plan, and we should commence that in early 2026. Your phase 1 project improvements to the existing wastewater treatment plant. We are recommending full release of retainage at this time. They have some warranty repair work to do, but all contractual work is done. So I'd like to present Thieneman Construction Incorporated's final payment application for release of retainage. It's application number 4 in the amount of $608,684.70. These funds come out of the retainage fund. So looking for council's recommendation for release on retainage.
Thanks, Al. Been a long time coming, well, for substantive project, so bring it to the board for action or questions about on pay application number 24.
Mayor, I make motion to present the 608,684.70 as presented.
Thanks, Bob. We have a motion to approve the application number 24. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
I'm getting strange looks from the clerk's office. Did I misspeak?
Just curious, you said payment 4, but this says
24. 24.
Just making sure, thank
Sorry.
you.
Downtown Interceptor project, we're still working on the bore across Main Street. So that's phase 1. We're estimating about 30 more days to complete that work. We also have most likely a cost deductive change order that we'll be bringing in front of you to address the temporary road issue that was resolved with respect to the easement versus right of way. So that will result in a credit to the contract by eliminating that road. So things are looking rosy with the Downtown Interceptor project. Our Southeast Wastewater Treatment Plant project, design's complete. It's out to bid. We have a pre-bid meeting today. We have 6 plan holders. It's the usual mechanical contractors that perform treatment plant work in Indiana. So everyone's welcome to attend that today at 1 in council chambers, if you wish. And our collection system improvements project, the design is progressing on schedule with anticipation of bidding that this summer. So that said, are there any questions?
I was getting some inquiries and on Lewis Street.
Yes.
Of course, my response is it's way too early to even offer up a guess. Best case scenario, no hiccups. Do we even have an estimated timeline just for Lewis Street?
That Lewis Street is part of the phase 1 project. We would anticipate that to be done around February 2026.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, Al.
Sure. Any other questions? Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Al.
Number 1 under new business, request approval of 2026 legal contracts. Al?
Thank you, Mayor. Not a lot of change here. Basically the same attorneys, same full overall budget. We made some minor changes to the items that would relate to hourly rate to kind of get all the attorneys in line. So I've drafted all those and all the attorneys are happy with them. Hopefully the Board of Works will proceed with those today.
Thanks, Alex. We'll bring this to the board then for questions or action on the 2026 legal contracts.
So move, Mayor, as presented by the attorney.
I'll second.
A motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Number 2, requests for approval of 2 HIDA contracts. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, members of the Board of Works here. The HIDA is requesting approval of 2 contracts. The first is for IT support services, which we will be continuing with on-site. They have been a vendor of ours since the HIDA program began back in the late 90s. So we would like to continue with that contract as presented. And the second is for continued support for a part-time investigative analyst, and this will be her 3rd year on contract with us.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Alex, legal department.
Yeah, I think they're contracts we've seen before. David, I think, has looked at them, so that he doesn't have any comment on them.
It's really one of the contracts as I have in the past and find them legally acceptable and ready for approval by the.
Okay, thank you, David. We'll bring them then to the board for questions or action.
No, I'll make a motion as presented, Mayor.
So a motion to approve the 2 contracts. We have a second
A second.
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board.
Number 3, request approval for fire station location study. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Jeff, for you today, board is a professional services contract with the Emergency Services Consultant International, ESCI, to conduct a comprehensive fire station location and deployment study. Total cost not to exceed $32,461. It's going to provide us a data-driven, defensible roadmap to expanding our services for both city and center township.
And obviously, there's a lot of moving parts to it, but their guesstimate, at least from the onset, would be 4 to 6 months for.
Yeah, it's as soon as we provide them all the data they request, it's maximum 6 months. I think between myself and Chief Cusack, we've got a lot of the phase 1 to 2 stuff done for them already. So we're kind of ahead of the game, I believe. So it'll probably be on the shorter end of that.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Chief. Bring this to Alex in the legal department for.
Yeah, so Chief and I went over this. We made some changes to it. Those changes were accepted. So based on that, we would recommend approval on it.
Alex. So just a reminder, board, this is the project that we're in partnership with the Center Township board on the ultimate goal of building a second state fire station. So this is the first step that we need to do in this process.
Yes, sir.
So we bring it to the board for questions of the chief or action.
Have any questions? Unless you do.
I do not. No.
Thank you, Mayor. I make a motion for approval as presented.
Motion to approve
I'll second.
agreement and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, chief. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Great job.
Number 4, request approval of property and casualty insurance renewal. Anthony?
Thank you, Mayor. So this is our yearly property and casualty insurance renewal. This policy will cover our general liability and all our city-owned buildings, all our parks, vehicles, equipment, and just keep everything insured through next year. We have Landon Murray here and other people from Foundation Risk Partners to go over the details of the policy.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Landon, good morning.
So you all have handouts that will follow along with the presentation. Mary, is that going to be pulled up on this here? or if not, we can just use, I've got a handout as well, so we'll just follow
Okay.
along on that. No big deal. Again, Landon Murray, Foundation Risk Partners. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mayor. Set to renew the property and casualty insurance for the city of Crown Point at the upcoming 1/1/2026. Myself and Joe Belanca, who's in attendance with us today, do all the front end work, and then Mike Shaw with Acrisure is here in attendance. She helps out with the brokering and marketing of the account as well. So moving along here. First page is just kind of a capabilities page. It's part of our proposal. Kind of just tells you who we are as an agency and the resources that we provide. I will point out that the city of Crown Point does utilize the in-house claims department and the risk management services that we do provide as a complimentary service. So that's all good things. Moving along. Next page is table of contents, so we'll just pass through that. Again, our service staff has remained the same for the past 3 years. Myself and Jeanette Fay, who kind of handles things on the back end, who's not in attendance today, and then Joe Belanca, who I mentioned, helps on the day-to-day servicing of the account. Moving along. The marketing summary page. So this is super important from a due diligence standpoint to make sure that the city is in the right insurance program year after year. Foundation Risk Partners partners with Acrisure to go out to municipal governmental insurance programs to make sure that the insurance is placed properly with the best terms and best price, obviously. So you can see in that column here, American Alternative Insurance Corporation, Munich Re, is the current carrier that we're with, and we're going to maintain and stay with them. They offered the best terms again this year. Below that, you'll see the different insurance carriers and partially self-funded groups that we went to for alternative options. And you'll see that the results of those are to the right on that column, showing, why they declined or why we decided to not pursue and move coverage to them. So keep that in mind as we move through here. As we go through, we'll go through the main coverage lines and just kind of highlight the overall higher perspective limits and things of that nature. And so the first one is commercial property. And you'll see right below there all the limits of liability for the property that the city owns and how that's broken out. All those limits that you see there are adjusted throughout the year with the help of Katie, Karen, Anthony, the department heads. They help maintain what is added and what's taken off. So just keep that in mind as we move through here, that those limits are constantly changing. But before renewal, we do a very thorough investigation of those charts to make sure that everything is covered up and we're not missing any sort of property or equipment at all. The biggest change for this year is the all other peril besides wind and hail deductible is staying at 5,000. That deductible is increasing. The wind hail deductible is increasing to 25,000, which you'll see on that next page. That is very standard, just due to the convective storms and how that has changed over the past decade, and wind and hail is getting worse. Typically, we see higher than that. So 25,000 is really not that bad of an increase for what we see in the municipal space and property scheduled to this size. All other deductibles are staying the same. And then the schedules of each individual property I did not include in this. It's on separate Excel sheets that we'll have Mayor sign just for time purposes. Moving on, the next one is inland marine equipment schedule. So that's property and tools owned by the city, including HIDA. Those are also spreadsheets that are updated and thoroughly checked before renewal at the end of each year before renewal time. So those limits adjust naturally throughout the year based on equipment owned. The deductibles on those are remaining the same, so that's all good things. Moving along, crime limits and deductibles remain the same on that coverage, so nothing has changed on that front, which is good. General liability, you still have the 1 million per occurrence, 3 million in the aggregate. And then the additional coverages that are included in that coverage form are right below that, including the employee benefits liability, sexual abuse and molestation, and failure to supply. Deductible is remaining at 25,000 on that, which was consistent with last year's terms. So that's always good to see, because a lot of times in this space, you'll see that those deductibles gradually increase. So the fact that they kept that the same is good. And that's also a result of no losses on the general liability lines of coverage, which is a great thing. Law enforcement professional liability, that the coverages and limits are remain the same at 1 million per occurrence, 3 million in the aggregate, and that retention level at 25,000 per claim is remaining the same as last year. It's also worth mentioning that across municipal business, when you include law enforcement, we typically see claims all the way up to 500 grand per claim. So the 25,000 remaining consistent is a great term at this renewal. So we are super excited about that. Public officials liability, that's also remaining the same at 1 million in the per occurrence, and then 3 million in the aggregate. Again, the deductible and retention is staying at 25,000. So that's all good things. Commercial auto, you still have the 1 million combined single limit for liability, which is standard. And then the comprehensive and collision deductibles are also remaining the same. And you'll see in that column there that it's broken up by the value of the vehicles. Deductibles kind of change as the vehicle value gets higher. So that's good to see. Those are staying consistent. And then at the bottom there, the liability is a 5,000 per accident deductible, which is consistent with last year's terms as well. So they did not increase that, which is a good thing. Schedule of vehicles, there's 275 units. We also did not include that on this proposal for obvious reasons, but that's the total amount after we did the updates. And the vehicles and trailers are just like the property and inland and marine. Vehicles are added and subtracted throughout the year as they're sold, purchased, released, all things of that nature. So next page is the excess liability. The excess liability is going to remain at 5 million. It sits over all the coverages on the underlying insurance on the liability front, which are listed there right below. So those are all good things. The retention is remaining at 0, which is a good thing on that as well. Next coverage line is cyber liability. We increased this to about 5 million 2 years ago, just due to the uptick in cyber criminals and claims that we saw across the board. But those limits are remaining the same at 5 million with the $25,000 retention. So no changes on the coverage or retention on that front as well. That next page is more coverages that throw in on that form, so we can continue to move through that as well, which brings us to the proposed premium summary page. So you can see the expiring premium from last year's presentation. The grand total was $799,867. That's increasing to $857,308, which is roughly a 7% increase. In this market segment in municipal business, we're seeing on average 10 to up to 50% increases. So due to the good loss ratio for the city, this is a fantastic renewal in terms of increase. And then the changes that you'll see down there below that premium summary are also contributing factors as to why this increase is occurring. Like I mentioned before, the property values have gone from a little over 37 million to 39 million. It's roughly a 5% increase, which that's naturally going to raise the premium with exposure. And then the outdoor property increased from a little over 4 million to almost 6 million, primarily due to the new and beautiful Sourman Woods Park project and the new skate park. So that also rose about 31%, which naturally brings your premium up. And then the base rates with Munich Re, the increase on that was about 5%, which is pretty standard in this market. Like I said before, we're typically seeing closer to 10 to 20% from a base rate standpoint increase. So 5% is a good renewal in our opinion. And that brings us to, I think the next page is just the AM Best rating for Munich Re. They're A+ rated financially, super solid carrier, top 10 size wise in the entire world. So we feel super comfortable with them from a financial standpoint. And then that's all I have. So I'll open it up to any questions that you all may have.
Really, the overall 7% increase based on what you guys are seeing is on the lower end of
Correct
increases that are out there.
Absolutely, especially with your all's exposures growing, budgets increasing, which is naturally bringing the liability exposure up. So yeah, that's a good. It's definitely below standard.
Okay.
increases.
I mean, as always, you guys knocked it out of the park. Thanks
Thank
again
you.
for, on behalf of the city, for all your due diligence and out there fighting for getting us the best rate and best coverage and for what we need. So,
Absolutely. Thank you.
I don't think there's hardly a week to go by that Anthony's not on the phone with Joe about something. Anthony, anything to add to Landon?
No, they just, Foundation Risk does a fantastic job for us. You know, Joe just helps out with, you know, all the things that city gets involved with in little accidents and stuff, and ensures that get our vehicles fixed and back in service as soon as possible. So
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
Okay, great presentation.
Thank you.
All inclusive, so we'll turn it to the board for questions of Landon, or we ultimately need a motion to approve the commercial insurance proposal for 2026. Okay, we have a motion to approve the proposal. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion?
Sounds like
Yeah, the insurance is something that is discussed all year round for different reasons and so forth. So, but when it comes to the renewal and the data, and thank you to the department heads because they supply a lot of the information.
Yep.
And then all people that are insured here, do they talk to Karen about it? And then because there'll be some questions from.
Yeah, I mean, the property and casualty, so this is all our vehicles, all our properties, our buildings, everything city owned is encompassed in this proposal. Yes,
Sounds like.
it's a good proposal.
Win-win, looks like that.
That's a good one. So we have a motion. Did we have a second?
Yes.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Landon.
Thank you all. Happy
gentlemen.
holidays, everybody.
Number 5, requests for approval of True Scripts SPD and pharmacy service agreement. Karen?
Yes. These policies have not changed since 8/1/2025. We came to the board on 8/1/2025. We had quite a few changes. Rick Mitchum, our broker, has given the okay to sign both of these documents. We do it every single solitary year.
Okay, and True Scripts is our provider for.
Yes, they're going to be our provider for 2026.
All right, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
So we need a motion from the board to approve the agreement as presented by Karen.
Motion as presented.
We have a motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Number 6, request approval for the purchase of GIS large format printer. Doug?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'm asking the board for approval to purchase a large format printer scanner for the engineering department. Through Art Imaging Resources, we were able to obtain 3 proposals for this printer. So we found that the Art Imaging Resources had the lowest proposal for this at $11,730. This will also come with a 1-year contract, which we currently are under with ARC as well, for the current printer that we have.
Are we keeping the current printer?
So
Or?
we're trading that one in. I think they're giving us like $2,500, but it's about 8 years old. So it's on its legs.
Okay. And this is the printer that generates and prints the large,
Yeah.
all
we
the large
scan all the
maps. And
Mylars. We scan all the plan sets that we get into our archives, so it's quite a bit.
Okay. All right, thanks, Doug. So the total price, just to confirm, is $11,730.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, we'll bring this then to the board for questions,
there.
for action. All right, so we have a motion to approve the purchase request. We have a second.
A second.
and a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Mayor.
Number 7, request approval to release performance bond for Walkerton Park.
Thank you, Mayor. So minor clarification, these are 3 maintenance bonds for Washington Park, phases 1, 2, and 3. So we've got a request to release maintenance bonds for our Washington Park, phase 1 in the amount of $196,301.99. Phase 2 is $240,954.31. And for phase 3 for Washington Park, you have $205,425.25. All their items have been met, and so we're ready to release the maintenance bond.
Thanks, Doug. So I'll bring this into the board for the engineering request.
So move as presented.
A motion to approve the release of the maintenance bonds with a second.
A second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. Thank you for
Up next, number 8 is our add-on. This is the Adam and the Pace Department to approve agreement for WGN weather. Adam?
Yes, Mayor and Board, before you is a hosting agreement with a company called Earth Networks, Inc. To grant the city use of a weather system and camera to be hosted by the city, primarily for the use of having a weather camera and system for WGN out of Chicago. The contract is, the equipment comes free of charge. It's a 1-year agreement. We, the city, just host the equipment and the backhaul necessary for the implementation of this. I'm asking the board today, since it's kind of late, to grant administrative authority for this with the to the mayor to sign that based on legal review.
Thanks, Adam. Alex?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. We did review it. We requested a couple of changes to it. Relatively minor changes with regard to venue and things of that nature. So I would recommend approval of it with those changes.
So perhaps pending final legal review and approval. All right, thanks. We'll bring this into the board for questions or action.
How do you want it worded on this one, Mary?
Well, I think if the board makes the approval or the motion pending final legal approval and review, then it'll make sure that everything is good with the legal department and how they want it. So I think it's just a single stationary camera mounted to be determined somewhere. Get some ideas.
Yeah, we have two locations in mind. Probably one will work. Obviously, we want it to face the west, so it picks up the courthouse and incoming weather. I've been in conversations as well as Bart with WGN. They're kind of excited to have it. It's a good promotional piece. The technology we're able to provide on the backhaul pretty easily. Again, I believe there was some just a couple small discussions to happen on in court proceeding where that would happen and that kind of stuff. So
I think it's important to note too that information that's gathered by that camera is usable by the city.
correct. Yeah. So it's a good publication piece, good unit weather system to have, and comes to us free of charge. So
right, and that was
good
something
partnership.
they contacted us about.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So they're looking to implement larger footprint in Northwest Indiana. We're on the top of the list. So.
So the motion to approve pending final contract.
Yes, sir.
That's your motion?
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion to approve the agreement. Do we have a second? Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Very good. Thank you.
Anything under miscellaneous? No, just a reminder, this is our last Board of Works meeting for 2025. So just public acknowledgement. Thank you to the board members for all the work. It's been a busy year. Expect no slowdown in 26. So just thank you to everybody for serving the community as well as you do in the board. So thanks again to the department head for their year-round work. So, Our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, January 7th at 11 a.m. And we need a motion to adjourn.
I will motion, I hope we made you happy this year.
Is that part of the motion?
Part of the
All
motion.
right. So we have a motion for adjournment. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with an eye.